Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Great Awakening Generator. I am Rose McNair and Claudia Tietjens. Hello, Claudia.
Morning, Rose. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Nice to see you again on a Sunday morning.
We've had a lovely rest, hey?
Well, I've had one. Have you? Did you do it?
Well, no, of course not. Too much to do. But I did manage to cut down on work obligations, which was really nice, and spent more time with the kids in different ways than what we normally do. So that's been lovely. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I think, it's been wonderful. And everybody that's watching live, you're so very welcome here. Thank you again for your patience and your understanding. And I hope you took the recess like we did too, in terms of bringing back your energy and giving yourself the time.
Yeah.
So, Claudia, one of the things that's happened, because I'm going to go right into it, dive right into it now, over this time of recess, is I have been given some guidance that when we do this, we need to call in some protection for us before we start. Now, I know we were calling ourselves in from wherever, but we also need to call in protection. Because sometimes things can happen that that can or actions can be taken by others for counterproductivity, and we want the protection for ourselves physically and for everybody that's watching it or is going to watch it in the future. So, will you please bring somebody in, please, for protection? Not just bringing all ourselves in, but also from protection. Or would you like me to do the protection part?
I have done my part before I've started, and I feel we're okay. If you want to add something else, go for it.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to add this because this has been something that's been given to me by my guides. All right, so I've done my work this morning. I've done my breath work and I've done my Kundalini yoga, all of that. So I'm just going to call the protection in of the archangels. Archangel Michael, we welcome you and your protection, your cloak of protection, the lightning blue cloak of protection of Archangel Michael. The legions of angels that protect us with Archangel Michael are here. Now, please, friends, I want to encourage you that every time that whatever protection you need, however you need protection, that you will call upon Archangel Michael and his legions of angels to protect you anytime, any space, always. Always ask for ease and comfort with that protection. All right. Also remember that, or I've realized that I only ever called those legions of angels once, and they have stayed. Thank you, everyone. We can come back to self now. I didn't realize the language is going to start that early, but well, okay. Right. So, Claudia, what are we doing today?
We need to talk some more about relationships. I think that's what we finished off when we before the recess. And it's been quite interesting, and I feel, yes, the Mercury retrograde has finished. I felt a shift about a week ago. All of a sudden the energies were getting a bit lighter, but then, man, relationships played up again. At least what I could observe, not just for me, but what I could see around me. Even I went shopping the other day, which I really don't do. And I overheard comments. I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on? There's a lot of triggers within relationships brought out in the open quite loudly. That, whoa, okay. But like I said also before, in the last 3 weeks, I've had time to do different things with my children. So I had chances to observe them interacting, but other kids their age. One is 9 and one is 14. So I observed quite a lot of teenagers and how they're interacting and how challenging that is, man. It was just interesting to see. So I started observing and analyzing because that's what I love doing. So I could see that whatever influences us can come from different aspects. So one, it can be from our starseed origin. Either we are very emotional from that aspect and very forthcoming with trying to change things and shaking up people, which can be coming from quite an emotional side, not just with thoughts. And then come the other side, who really can't do anything with emotions. They really, there's no connection. They don't get each other at all. That was a really good example where they were both 14 and one person was really opening up and laying their heart bare, and the other one was so 14-year-old boy thinking, what has come my way, and couldn't deal with it. But really funny to watch, hard to deal with afterwards, but funny to watch. Okay, this is what's happening. So it can come from our characteristics, soul characteristics, or it can come from our gifts. So for some people, things have to make sense, and emotions quite often don't make sense. So there again is this disjointed interaction where people are really struggling to make sense of each other and don't get each other. So there's so much potential for things to go wrong just from the onset of how different we are. And then come into the picture karmic patterns. So I observed that with myself this week, where I was really triggered, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is a big karmic pattern, and why did it have to come up now in this relationship? Obviously, it's a great thing if these things come up because we can clean up. But I think the overall message is, if we can manage to step back from the emotions ourselves, for our children, for ourselves, we're observing things and see there's so many different factors that influence relationships that we have no control over. If we can just observe and analyze from that space of non-judgment and say, okay, maybe that's where they're at. Will we ever get on? You know, do we have to think about that further, or is there something for me that I need to deal with? Or, you know, what am I going to do with this? And just analyze from this non-judgmental, non-emotional point of view. I think that's what I've come to realize, how important that is. If it blows up, everything blows up. Yes. So what else has happened, Rose, on relationships? The other thing I was thinking too, and I've talked to friends, how disconnected they're feeling from the people around them that they've spent so much time with, and all of a sudden the relationship isn't working anymore. And I think it's because the ascension process comes in at different speed for everyone. And we just become out of sync with people. So we're working so hard on ourselves, and the rest hasn't yet. So it doesn't work anymore. That relationship doesn't work where it's at the moment. And that is quite hard too. For one, they feel you don't understand them anymore, and you feel the same. But neither of them have found their new group of people just yet to help them in that environment. So it's all foreign again. And am I all by myself? Am I lost? Am I alone? So it takes time to reestablish new relationships on the new level that you're finding yourself at. So I think really important is to practice as much self-love as we can. Be patient with ourselves, be patient with those around us, and take our learnings, or just take time for ourselves. I think that's what it is today. Rose?
Right. Yes. That's interesting
Yes.
topic. Very interesting topic. I just want to say to anybody watching, if you have any questions, please put it into the comments page there on YouTube, and we are looking at them, and we will probably mention your question here, and then go from and basically answer it too. Also remember, you can contact us even after today. And if you want some
Yes.
assistance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like what you're saying there. And I feel like at the moment, what I'm finding is that it's like you're saying, people are sort of getting out of sync with relationships that they are in. And what I know very importantly right now is everything feels like a mishmash. Everything feels like, I say mishmash, it means like it's all over the place, it's staggered or whatever. The relationships we trusted, the relationships that we have had for many years are really we're starting to look at them and think, do I really need to be in this relationship? Do I really respond that way? That I've always responded? I'm changing so much. Is that an okay response for where I am right now in my life? Does it sit right within my higher self, within my gut feeling? What is my gut feeling saying about it? What is my intuition? What is my higher self saying about it? And what I'm finding is that relationship with yourself is vital right now because of everything else happening on the outside, because our foundations are kind of being shaken, especially when you've had a friendship for 20 years and suddenly it looks like you no longer agree. You no longer see that person's side. You're starting to say, oh, look, I don't actually want to do that anymore. We did it for 20 years and we did things a certain way and I don't want to do it that certain way. Not necessarily not wanting to know that person, but I don't want to do it like that anymore. I no longer agree or sink in with the way we've been doing it for 20 years. I don't have that opinion. So I think when you start to get to know yourself more, because right now the relationship is for self, when you start to get you're in tune with yourself more, then you start to respond or realize later on. And also being easy with yourself, loving yourself means that you can start to be like that with other people. We can show the compassion when we look at ourselves and say, it's okay if you're feeling out of sync today. It's okay if you don't feel like doing that thing today. You know, what is it that you can do that will be the path of least resistance? And I think what we need to be looking for very much in these times of mishmash and everything all over the place, in the jumble that we're in and the jungle that we're in, is to say, well, okay, how can I take care of me? What do I need? What are my needs? What do I need in terms of my health, my mindset, my mindfulness, how do I keep my stress levels low? Right. And so that's what I think is relationship again to self.
Yeah. And don't undermine who you are just for the sake of a relationship. That's right. A big learning for all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's coming back to also, you know, sometimes, you know, examples, for example, is this, like you can want something, you can want a relationship. Say it's a romantic relationship and you want that relationship so much, but then you get that relationship and then you start to get to know this person and you think, oh, there's a lot of things going on in this person's mind that is uprooting my key foundations, that brings into effect the fact that, oh, do I really believe that anymore? Where are they in relationship to where you are? Right. And this is where we're choosing, because sometimes you could want that thing, that relationship, you could want it for so long and whatever. And then you suddenly have it. And then you think, oh my gosh, it's not what I wanted. Because some of the things that this person believes rocks my core foundations, whatever that belief might be. And so are you going to say, all right, I'm just going to go and work this out and I'm going to put my feelings, that my core belief system is what intuitively I know is not exactly okay. But because of the romantic feeling, and I use the romance just because that comes to mind at this point, not that there's anything like that happening in my world or whatever, but it is a factor we've all had to check in all of us single people had to think in the last 3 years, what kind of person am I going to be with in the future? For example, there was something that we had you know, I'm tapping my shoulder here, that shot thing, right? Think about that. Somebody who firmly believes in it, who dogmatically follows that. And if you are somebody who says, no way, I don't want that thing near me, because inherently I know I can't do that. How will you do it when that person comes and says, I want to be with you? That's suddenly become a thing where it shouldn't have become an ingrained thing, but it's become an ingrained thing, right? Where it's like a core belief now suddenly. Not that it is, but you know, so I think we've really had to look at relationships over the last 3 years because our relationship foundations that were really rocked. Okay. Because you were having mothers saying, you can't come home for Christmas if you don't have that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. How does a mother say that to her child? Right. But okay, that happened. And now we're coming closer and closer to, okay, we've gone through all of that motion and here we are. And I use that because that's a common thing. I mean, everybody's got their own thing going on, right? But now again, whose report will you believe? Will you believe the report of yourself, of your intuition, or will you believe the report of what's out there? Because inadvertently, it comes back to that. What is my core foundation? What is my belief? Now that I know what I know, now that I've been through what I've been through, what is my core foundation? So,
yeah. And there's lots of other deep questions like that as well. I think it's a very good example because it really rocked everyone so deeply.
Yeah.
But there's lots of other ones, and it will continue over different subjects. So yes, it is very much like you say, how are we going to undermine ourselves for a relationship or not? And it's not just for singles, it's for people in relationships.
That's right.
Is it still working? Is it not? Where are we?
Yeah.
So,
and I want to say this to anybody who's in a relationship and you've been in a relationship for years and years and years. Be easy with yourself if you feel that suddenly it's not working out. Because we are all there. The transformation process is affecting all of us. No one is beyond this transformation process. And yeah, you get people that are still stuck in that thought pattern and very into the third dimensional stuff. But even them, those that are staying in the third dimension, that's the soul contract. But they are also being given the opportunity because the information's out there, right? They're being given the opportunity to maybe change the soul contract. Who knows? So just be easy, be okay. When the shock hits you that the relationship is no longer working, do it with love. Bring in love and think, I've loved this person for all this time. And whilst I'm shocked now about that, okay, how will I navigate from here? Be the best ex you could ever be.
Either that or take the opportunity to help that person rise in any form you can, because maybe that was your learning out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was to get away, either or. Analyze what it was, what it is. That's important.
Yeah. And also sometimes this doesn't have to be an end to a relationship. It can be something about, okay, now we're faced with this. How are we navigating? What's going to happen in terms of how we navigate? Are we going to navigate? Is this something, it's a platform we have to take off together on and learn together? Because think about it. If you'd had this relationship that was working out for 20 years and it's no longer, then is it possible that it's a big, big shift and a learning curve and that you still navigate it and you carry on with your life? It doesn't have to be the end of that. Love is a strong platform.
Yeah. And I think, this is what I said earlier too, if you can manage to step back and take the emotional outbursts out of it and look at it from a neutral, non-judgmental perspective, and yes, with a loving heart, that's the important bit. You can move forward
Definitely
in the most positive way, with or without that person.
Yes. Be brave. There are some people that don't know how to do that. Some people are fearful of moving forward without that security of the relationship. Now be easy with yourself and take one step at a time. There's a lot of support out there. Tune into your guides, ask them to bring in those, who are the next guides, who are the next friendships, all of that. You know what? Capitalize. I'll use business terminology here now. Capitalize on all those things that you can capitalize on. The friendships, and that's not, and I mean, just go within and do your, you're tuning in. And even that partner that might be leaving, that partner is it's been your best friend for a long time, maybe, most likely. That capitalize on that, navigate it together. rather
Yeah.
than say, I'm not supposed to be with you now, so I don't know how to do that.
No.
Yeah. So some of the best friendships come from relationships, from romantic relationships. Sometimes you didn't have the friendship before the romance, but you had the romance and you had all the years of it. But in between, the friendship has been developed. Capitalize on it. So I chose the romantic thing, not because I did that deliberately. I didn't even know I was going to talk about that. But we go with the flow here, right? So Claudia, is there anything else you want to say before we do this light language section?
I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
Okay. Did you have a channeling you wanted to do? I must be conscious of that before. Or are you?
Well, I have tuned in last night of who might want to come, and a lot of back and forth. And I think Mary Magdalene wants to come and have a word.
Okay.
But I have a feeling you need to lead in with the card that you had.
Yes. Okay.
And your light language, and then
that's
we'll
fine.
move on to that section.
So today I'm going to turn musicians mode on. Right, it's on. Don't have my glasses, so I can't kind of see that fine print on the screen, but okay, it is on. So today I asked for some guidance. Last night, before I went to bed, I looked into the dragon book and all of that, and there is no dragon book. There isn't something coming from the dragon book I'm told it's reserved for the daily or the whenever day happens, the dragon for the light language for the daily thing, right? And then I thought, all right, I think it's the cards today. And I'm going to share my screen very shortly. I'm just going to bring up what I need to share. And I hope I can give it... Pulling all ourselves in from wherever. Okay. I wonder what that was. I suddenly had a recording thing coming through there. That was bizarre. Mercury has gone direct, but... Okay, so we're losing... What we're losing at the moment... Can you hear me, Claudia? We are losing the microphones. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to turn the musicians mode off. Okay. I wonder what that was. I suddenly had a recording thing coming through there. That was bizarre. Mercury has gone direct, but okay, so we're losing what we're losing at the moment. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now. I've just put the computer on mute. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's almost like it went to record and then it was replay. That's never happened before. That's bizarre, don't you think? As I was saying, Mercury, the retrograde is over. Stop messing with my technology. For goodness sake, people stay out of it. What the heck? All right, musicians mode on. You can hear it. Just give me the, tell me. You come in and tell me that you can't hear it if that happens, Claudia. All right, so I'm going to share the screen. So I have tried to do a rotate on this, everybody. I hope you can see it. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to do rotate on it. And let's just see if I'm going to do that. I tried it this morning and I can't do a rotate. But let's see. Are we able to see that? Can you see it? Yes? Yes? Okay, all right. This deck is the Whispers of Healing Oracle Cards deck, and I apologize for it looking skew. Please go like that if you need to. The deck is from Angela Hartfield, and the artwork is by Josephine Hall. A very beautiful deck, and I am sorry, for whatever reason, I cannot rotate this. This picture I tried this morning and I cannot do it. It would seem that my let's increase the size. How's that? Better, hopefully, right? So I was led to this card deck this morning. It's one of my most beautiful cards in the oracle decks that I have in the box there, and I'm now going to share with you the card that comes out of this. All right, I'm stopping sharing that one. And let's go to share screen again. And this is the card. I thought it was a very apt card. Right. The card is called. Now, the only thing I do not like about it is that the writing doesn't, can you see, it's not very easy to see what that word is. The word is forward motion. And oh my goodness, I'm just going to try whilst I am talking to you to bring that up again and see if we can get a rotation going on this. Because it's just terrible that we can't do a rotation on it. Right. Let's see if we save a copy. Maybe saving a copy will do it. Sorry, friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. No, not going to work. All right, that's fine. I'll share it again. Oh my word. And here we go. Right. Would you believe it's closed the card now? Let's stop it. Right, the card is very pretty. And one second, please. Bear with me. Let's breathe. Claudia, say something.
You know what I was going to say is I love Josephine Wall's artwork. I have so many of her puzzles.
Do you? I didn't realize she did puzzles.
Yeah, well, that's you know, my little organized corner in my life. I can do puzzles. Yes. And I love hers because there's so many hidden things to find. It's beautiful. So, and I saw the butterflies, you know, moving forwards in very gently on that card, not racing ahead, but gentle, flittering here, flittering there.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
It is extremely beautiful, and you know what? I when I closed it, and I'm just going to bring it back up, so don't worry. Please bear with us. We just have sometimes these things happening.
You're all good.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm just going to bring it. I'm opening it again. I just opened the wrong thing or closed the wrong thing, and that's happened. I would love for us to be able to see this card in its entirety because it's an awesome card. Forward movement. I thought it was interesting that forward movement came out today when I did the shuffle this morning, and I just thought, that's interesting that forward movement comes through, and especially that we've gone through the retrograde, and you know, in going through the retrograde, we've sort of we're moving forward now, right? The retrograde gave us time to stop and think. And take some time for ourselves, and now it's forward motion, and that's what made me feel really excited about the fact that it could be forward motion. So the card's opening, so here we go. The card is coming up. 1 second, let's just go back here because that card, ironically, that one has got a shadow on it. I had 2 copies of it, it's got a shadow on it. Oh my goodness me. All right. We have got it open. I'll just close the email because, I'm just closing the Outlook because I don't want Outlook to interfere with the conversation here. We are just calling in the guides. Right, coming up, friends. That is the card, and I'm going to increase the size of my screen. I promise I'll be better prepared. Forward movement, everybody. Forward movement. And a very skew looking card. It's a number 45, which is added up together. Numerology is a 9, which symbolizes the end of something. 9s end things. We've got a fairy there. She is sitting on something. It's a flower. It's a rose. It's a blue rose. Blue, violet violet-like rose. And she's been pulled forward by butterflies. You also have butterflies following her. Very beautiful meaning of this card, and here we go. Forward movement. Nothing ever stays the same. Very, very in tune with what you were talking about, or what your aspect was for the topic today, Claudia. Relationships. Nothing ever stays the same. Life is a constant state of change. This is an undeniable law of nature. You may feel you are in the middle of challenging circumstances. Take heart and trust. Things are already changing for the better. Things are moving, even though you cannot see it happening. Change comes in many ways. Some changes are quick, while others are gradual. Once you agree to change and give up your resolve to resist, you can access whatever is heading your way. The change that is coming into your life may concern your health. It may herald a change in a relationship. It could be something else entirely. However it manifests, there is positive energy in this change. It is going to take place. You are being asked to trust and keep your heart open to whatever comes up or whatever comes your way. Butterflies tow a fairy sitting on a rose carriage. The rose indicates balance and faith. The butterflies signify change, but also grace and a soul connection. The fairy is being moved over. The fairy is being moved over a beautiful landscape. The various hues in this artwork represent different chakras. The purples represent the crown chakra. Blue is associated with the throat chakra. Pink is connected to the ear. The ear chakra or the heart chakra? The book says the ear. They mean the heart, I think. Yellow relates to the solar plexus. If your eye is drawn to a specific color, it may indicate a chakra that needs balancing. Ultimately, the place you are moving towards is better than the place you are currently in. Hela katofa, hela, yolokotona mahi tukoro mahai. Friends, do not go kicking and screaming. Look at this fairy. She looks happy. She looks complacent. She's like, I'm going with the flow. I'm letting these transformation butterflies move me. What does the butterfly represent in your life? In mind transformation, in mind beauty and magic. Go with the flow, go with the flow, go with the flow. Move forward. Move gently, friend. Move gently. Balance yourself. Find that thing that's mindful. That helps you navigate right now. Find the thing that helps you navigate. Is your butterfly mindful practice? Is your butterfly? Is your butterfly Kundalini yoga? Is your butterfly meditation? Whatever the transformation tool is that you need right now, I trust that you find it. Okay. Please plant your feet firmly on the ground wherever you are. Korokotata. Take a breath in through your nose. Hold it, 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 hold it. Look into the third eye space. Think about the top where your nose starts. That's your third eye space. Pause it, pause it, pause it. And now let it out through your nose or your mouth, whichever one feels comfortable to you. Take 3 breaths like that, my friends. So try 2 more. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing now, Claudia. It's up to you, over to you.
Here we go. I wanted to say 2 things. For one, every time I thought I needed to sneeze, so obviously there's a huge relay of energy.
Yeah.
Second one, I'm going to start Latin dancing next week. So that's going to be my butterfly.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Whatever.
And that's my self-love and all sorts.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Wonderful.
I also feel very much guided to start with some healing because my heart hurts very much. So that's not my energy that's coming in from the viewers now or in future. I can just feel a lot of pain in the heart chakra. So what I would like is change the pace a little bit, as in slow it down. I hope you can follow. So please, everyone, join me. If you feel you need some heart healing, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for 2. Breathe out. Do that again. Breathe in. Hold. And release. And last time, breathe in. Hold. And release. Now tune into your heart space. And just note any emotion, any words that may come to you, any thoughts, any images. While I send out healing to the heart chakra. I can feel it lightening up. The energy is lighter than it was when we started. And the information that I heard is this chakra is at the center of our physical being. It's also the center of our engagement with others around us. So it can become quite clogged and overwhelmed in there. So any acts of self-love, taking yourself to a quiet space, processing, releasing, and letting go will help you clear this space that needs to remain clear and open so you can engage afresh in relationships without any karmic or carried over emotions. that will hold you back in your relationships. The beautiful thing that I thought while I'm still holding this space is I didn't tell Rose. I was asked not to tell Rose that she needs to pull a card, but she did, so that was perfect. The wheels behind the scene worked, right, Rose? And the interesting thing too is moving forward movement, but on a rose. So that signifies love, a symbol of love. It also signifies, you know, when you see Mary Magdalene, quite often there is roses around her. And she's been wanting to join us this morning. I think she is facilitating a lot of the healing in our heart spaces. I don't know if you can notice a change. I'd love to hear it at the end. But for me, when I facilitate hands-on healing, it usually starts with dark colors because the area is clogged or painful. And then it changes to light. And it's all of a sudden I can see this rainbow light around my heart area. All the different colors coming separately. A little bit like what we saw, the strings from the fairy to the butterflies. So our whole being is moving forward, drawn very gently. All our chakras are encompassed. Everything's looked after by our central chakra, our heart. Moving forward with love. And still feel a lot of weight on people's shoulders. Responsibility that they've taken on. How they're trying to help others through this process, taking responsibility for their children, for their family members, for their loved ones. We're being asked to make this a joyful process because they have access to their own loving understanding, and you'll be surprised of what they're coming out with, how they see the world. We don't have to take all the responsibility on our shoulders because they are moving at their own pace. They are equally on their forwards movement, very gently. So if we can enjoy this process with joy and love and ease, they can look at us and say, hey, this doesn't have to be difficult. So we can release any pressure that we put on ourselves and look towards the lighter side and inspire those around us to be brave and courageous. Put their feet forwards, sit in their own little carriage to be dragged forward, ever so gently. Big word that I'm hearing is trust. Have trust and faith that everyone is being helped and held. And we can concentrate on our own journey. And those around us will follow at their own pace. We need to be an inspiration to those around us in how we are handling challenging times, challenging relationships with love and ease and enjoyment. Think about the lightness of the butterfly who's gone through their transformation, to sip on the nectar, on the beauty and the sweetness of life. Enjoy the sunshine, moving forward wherever they're being taken, with the freedom to express themselves, the freedom of being who they are. That is what we need to remind ourselves of. That was what we need to remember. I can now feel pain in my hips. So that tells me, for one, we're a bit stuck in our old relationships, holding on to old traditions and the way things used to be. It's like the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. Sometimes they can get a little bit stuck. But you are on your way of transformation. There's no way to stop it. You can let go, and you're not a bad person for it. You are needing to face the light. You are needing to move forward, for that completes your transformation. There can be no negative feelings, no shame, no guilt. There can only be light and love to move forward. If someone is trying to hold you back, just means they are not quite ready. Explain this to them, that you need to take your own steps, and they will in time get their own chance to do so. They are not dependent on you. There is no codependency for transmutation. Everyone does it at their own pace. If people feel scared, remind them to look within. Look within and find their inner strength to go through their transformation progress and process. Once you have seen the light as you come out of the chrysalis, you can share it. Say, hey, this wasn't scary. Come along on this journey to meet the light, to be bathed in the love of everything around you. You can encourage and inspire. That is your job. I can feel there's more healing now around the root chakra. To give us more trust in our security and in our belonging wherever we move to. I can see a pyramid of light, and your root chakra is your foundation. It can never be taken away from you. Wherever you go, you are safe. You carry your own pyramid of your own strength within you. No one can take this strength away. It's inner power. This feeling of being protected and guided at all times. Tune into it and allow the light to come in from above. Light up your whole structure, your whole energy field, and pull in the base of your pyramid. Fill you with the love and support and strength and trust. And then share it with the earth. Share it through the earth with those around you, that they can start believing that they are always safe and looked after with their own inner strength and with the light from above and the support from below. We are always safe. We always belong. We are never alone. Tap into all of those around us that are here to support us. Don't be shy. Don't feel it's not yours. It's there for the taking. It's right there for everyone to grasp. Take one last breath, everyone, and feel the light coming down through your own pyramid. Feel it down, coming down, filling you up to the brim, glowing your inner light and showing it to the world. Strongly connected between Mother Earth and the energy of our original homes. We will hold this energy for a little bit longer, clearing and cleansing any dark little corner that needs to be addressed, that is holding us back from our transformation. Allowing more light to infiltrate every little corner of our being. Receiving the wisdom of the universe, grasping the new knowledge that will help us in our day-to-day lives. It is available to everyone. Don't be scared to receive it. It is there for us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How was that, Rose? Did you feel that?
Yeah, I feel like it was interesting because when you said this about the chest, the heart, could feel that move, that shift happen very specifically there. I just feel like we need to, once again, I apologize for the card being the not showing up right. This is a very interesting message. And that message you gave is very interesting too, because it's got to be, it almost felt like, even when the card, when we were reading it, was for somebody very specific. And some of the things you just spoke about now was very specific to like the heart, the feeling in the hearts, the feeling, what's this in the lower part of the body. So, whoever's watching, whenever they watch this, if they're not watching now, it is probably going to appeal to them. And I think heart is a very big thing at the moment. A lot of people are having heart issues. There's pain in the heart. There's all of that. And I think we're just coming to this point of we have to deal with those things and, balancing that chakra, balancing all the chakras, very important. So that was very valuable in terms of that. Yes.
Mm. That was
It's
beautiful. Very
kind of,
beautiful
yeah,
energy and lots of light coming in.
kind of a quiet energy, not a
Yeah.
massive push forward. You see,
No.
even the
It's like the
fairy.
butterflies going
Yeah,
slowly.
it's like the fairies, just like, well, I'll go along, you just take me wherever, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, even the ribbons on the fairy, like if you look at it, I'll show it one more time. See, the ribbons are these colorful, beautiful rainbow colors, aren't they?
Yeah, I could see those coming
Yeah,
from the heart. I could see it.
yeah, yeah. So and yeah, and look at her. She's just the butterflies all over her. She's having a jolly good time, moving forwards. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, Rose.
Yeah, very beautiful card. And I apologize again for all of you not
Don't
having the
worry.
benefit of seeing it, but we will use more cards from that deck.
Maybe it means sometimes we have to look at things from a different angle, right?
Yep,
Just
exactly.
straightforward. We might have to actually get out of our way and look at it in a
Yeah.
different.
Even moving how you move forward is not like how you envisage it.
Not like that. It can be anyway.
And she's going like anyway too, isn't she? Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Claudia. Really
Thank you,
appreciate your
Rose.
time and
Thank
doing this.
you.
And thank you everybody for watching.
We
I
also want
apologize.
to say, sorry,
Go on.
quickly before I forget, thank you to the beings that have come to support us this morning.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much.
Yes, I thank you for bringing that to the forefront, because I realize I don't often say thank you to them at the end of it. So thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, Mary Magdalene. Thank you, the legions of angels, for being here. Thanking our guides is very important. And sometimes we get so caught up in things that we just forget to say thank you for coming. Thank you for the protection that you're awarding us. I found out what the technology issue was when we went live. When we click the button to go live here on YouTube, it's opened. The YouTube studio channel is open on the background, and I meant to go in and close it. It happens all the time. I just didn't close it today.
Interesting.
And that means it was reverberating because it was coming out there in the mainstream, and it's coming through the computer again. Now, I want to say thank you, Mercury. You're still taking your chances. And I apologize for that. It can't be worse than this person who had a big event planned in the last 3 weeks, right? And all the media, all the notifications that went out to people was the day before it was actually happening.
Oh, my word.
So people arrived from out of town.
And no one was there.
And no one was there because the event wasn't happening. And they only realized it when people were calling them, where is this event we're meant to be? So I want to say to everybody, I'm not mentioning the name of this or anything like that. It came up and I thought, oh my gosh, what a thing could happen. And I have to say, only in the Mercury retrograde. I mean, can you imagine? It was for higher purpose. The work was for higher purpose. It was like a conference they were holding. And it just went out on all the information that was printed out, that was on social media, everything. It had the wrong date.
Well, maybe it was meant to not go that smoothly in the first place.
That's right. And you know what? Equal balance in all things is what I've learned in this last month or so. Everything, equal balance, but equal value. So when it's not going well, it's still relevant and relative. When it is going well, it's still relative and relevant. When you start bringing that balance and saying, okay, so it didn't go like I planned. How does it mean to go? So I will take this journey because, okay, it's not going like I planned, but what am I supposed to learn in it?
Yeah.
It's a bitter pill to swallow, but we need to do that, because the more we do that, the more balance we bring, the easier the transitions and the ascension process is going to be. Okay. Well, everybody, Claudia, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you next time here on the Great Awakening Generator. We're back. I know it's kind of a quiet start today, but
right.
Forward movement, everyone. Forward movement. Take care. Thank you. Namaste. Bye, everyone.